you can use the AWS Command Line Interface, the CLI, to manage functions and other AWS Lambda resources. The AWS CLI interacts with the Lambda API. If my function needs permission to access AWS resources, I need to create an IAM execution role. I can use the AWS IAM create role command with an inline trust policy in this example. I have some Node.js Lambda function code in a file called index.js. The function logs the values of environment variables and interacts with the event and context objects. If my function has any dependencies, I can add them using my language's dependency system, such as npm for Node, pip for Python, or whatever you use to manage dependencies. I create a deployment package by zipping up the function code and include any dependencies if I had them. I'm using Windows, but you can use any zipping utility. I then create a Lambda function with the AWS CLI create function command. I specify the zip file I created containing the function code. I specify the handler location, the runtime, Node.js in this case, and specify the role on I created earlier. I can then invoke the function from the command line using AWS Lambda invoke. I include the function name and a response output file. I can get the logs from the invoke using the base64 utility to decode the logs. If I wanted to update the configuration, I can use AWS Lambda update function configuration to, for example, increase the memory size to 256 meg. And lastly, I can also delete the function using AWS Lambda delete function.